it's Clarissa here. You are back in the limelight. And today I have one of the best of the best. When we talk about entrepreneurs and we talk about the top of the creme, it is only one person, and that is Dave Meltzer. I've been telling Dave every time I turn around, he's there. He's on Instagram. He's on Facebook. He's everywhere I've been in the last 2 months at least. I mean, I know you jumped around doing events and we saw each other frequently there, but to see the amount of, see you as much as I have, not only has it warmed my heart, but you, my friend, never sleep.
Oh, it's about being productive, accessible, and gracious. So
yes, it
is.
Master
time. And I used to think I was efficient when I was traveling all around 200 days a year, as you know, going to so many events. But, you know, this idea, I was resistant to Zoom and to StreamYard and to things. And it has opened a door with my philosophies. And, you know, I have the 520 rule. I think I've never been more productive in my entire life. And if I can get statistically successful, like I did in a traditional manner, watch out, world, because it's already been an amazing 8 weeks for me. Yeah. I'm not shy. I don't feel guilty. I don't feel offensive to anybody, because my goal in life is to be rich enough to make everybody rich in the world.
And I hear that
person.
Hear it loud and clear, and that's been very, very apparent. Again, I think if I've seen you everywhere, I know everybody's seen you everywhere because I'm pretty busy myself. But with that having been said, Dave Meltzer, everybody, you know him well. He's the co-founder of Sports1 Marketing, and he also has his own podcast. It's called The Playbook. You've got to get over to Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, and Spotify to follow him there. You're going to want to go also to Sports1 Marketing .com so that you can learn a lot more about him if you already don't know a lot. Dave, you've said a lot of things in the last 2 months, Zoom obviously being really important for all of us in the moment. But one of the things that you had said that struck me the most was the joy that you found or refound in just being able to sit down at the dinner table and spend some time with your family. And was a special story about your young son.
Yeah, no, it's amazing because we lie to ourselves all the time. I talk about it's really important time to taking inventory of our values. And I do take inventory of my values every day. But what makes it a little different for me is I'm not afraid to be a hypocrite. I think too many people, they want to stick to their values. And I think that's, a really bad way to look at things. I want to change. I want to be able to tell you, Clarissa, since the last time you saw me, I'm such a better person. Traveling nearly as much. I have not been the father that I could have been and I should have been. And I've been a good father. I don't discount that, but I have a greater potential to be a better father and a better husband and a better friend and son. And that dinner table to me was a great awakening, because I get, people tell me around all these unbelievable people, just like you list off, everyone from Italy, from the Ferraris to the Lamborghinis to everybody. And, for me, it's all the baseball, football, basketball, boxers, media,
I know,
big events. Right. And I'm sitting at my table going, gosh, I would pay so much money to sit here
right now.
If StubHub can dinner with the Meltzers, I'm in every night, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. I wish I could stand here right now, Dave, and say, here are all the books that I have. I don't know if you remember when I came down you were here in Phoenix. I came down to ASU with Jim Niemeyer, and we sat and we watched your speech, which blew me away. First off, and I came to the back of the room to buy the book, and you said, no, don't worry about buying it. You can have it. And I said, no, I'm going to buy the book because I would love for, I know that you do a lot of donations and that sort of things. Those books, I wish I could sit here and say, here they are. And maybe you've got them there. I don't know. But I gave them to all of my nephews. All of your books went on to, they did. They're like 19. I actually bought one of them to Secret Knock, and it changed, honest to God, just getting him out of what he knew and moving him into a new state, a new place, new people, networking, and a whole new way of being and thinking moved him into the next phase of his life. And I couldn't be more proud. But, I know that your books have really reached, epic levels and so many people. But you talk about one of the things that I love the most, and I really have had a hard time with is your rule number 5, practice ending fear. That's a big one now.
Yeah. And, I never knew how big it was, and understanding 3 things. One, to stop. I call myself the ferocious Buddha because stopping. So it's like the most ferocious thing. People were impressed when I weighed 147 pounds and played college football. That's not nearly as ferocious as being able to stop when you're in ego-based content. When you're fearful and mad and angry and separate and fear superior, if you can stop, that's a ferocious person that can stop. And then to be a Buddha and drop down and breathe, to get to neutral, to raise our vibration and awareness. And then the easy part when you're in neutral is to roll in the right direction. And so I use the analogy, if you're in that fearful, the way you practice is know that your body, mind, and soul are on fire. When you're in fear, your body, mind, and soul are on fire. So you got to be ferocious and stop, be a Buddha and drop down to center, neutral, and then go ahead and roll. When anyone's on fire, you stop, drop, and roll. So that's been my practice of ending fear in my life.
And here's another one I heard you say.
Never.
Another one I heard you say in the last couple of months. And again, I'm in the background. I'm listening. I'm watching and all the things you're doing. The law of Goya. I had never heard that with all of the networking events I've never been, unless you made it up over these last 2 months.
No, John Asroff taught me that.
I thought so.
I fell in love with it.
Yeah.
I asked him tons of times. I said, please let me be able to use that, because I've been such a law of attraction person. But the conflict I have with the law of attraction is I envision someone high on their mom's couch doing nothing. So I'm a law of Goya guy. Get off your ass. And people that get off their ass get stuff done. In fact, I do have something that is mine that I teach people: do it now, because 100% of the things you do now get done. And the difference between us and most people on earth is we get stuff done.
Yeah. It's the 1%. It's absolutely. It's the 1%. You say, and I remember when you told me in Phoenix, the last time you were in Phoenix, it was at John Chin's event.
Yeah, Think and Grow
Rich. Yeah, and I think we passed each other in the hall, and everybody was so crowding around you. I went, the hell with that. I'll just talk to him.
I never liked him anyway.
I mean, I love you, honey, but I'm not a groupie. Not for nothing. I just,
You're my friend.
And you had gotten up on the stage and sort of, as you normally do, you blow everybody away with your speech, but you said gratitude morning and night. And if you can do that for 30 days, then you and I can, we can probably work together. Do you remember saying that to the crowd?
Absolutely. And it's a simple practice that can change your life. In fact, I guarantee it. It also took me 9 months. So I'm a realist about how difficult it is to create a discipline or a habit. So it took me 9 months to say thank you every single morning and every single night. But through physics, metaphysics, quantum physics, our entire friend group of transformational leaders in the world, from Jack Canfield to Bob Proctor to everybody, they all agree with me that gratitude is the most powerful thing ever. And people don't practice gratitude and they don't practice sleep. And if they just would practice, I always tell people, you want to change your life, there's 3 simple things: drink a gallon of water, sleep 8 hours, and say thank you. Yeah. Let's start there. Lower the bar, make an extraordinary difference. Those 3 things.
Right. Practice makes progress, not perfect. I'd never heard it before. And I went, oh, well, now there's the concept I think I could live by.
Yeah. I had an employee that he polished my soul, and he brought that one out of me, threw me from the universe. And I looked at him and I just said, I just want progress, not perfection. And and I used to tell him, I said, look, man, I wish you were intentionally making these mistakes so I could fire you, but you're such a wonderful person. I know this isn't, and now that I have 3 teenage daughters, it's even more prevalent. My soul is being polished every day. Yeah,
of course. Yeah, because it really is always a work in progress, without a doubt. I mean, the people that know it know that they, you can't stop. You got to keep on learning. You got to keep on giving. Another thing that I heard you say is you can't give what you don't have. Blew my mind. I was like, I'm trying to run around, make everybody happy, and kind of myself too every once in a while. Hello. And, but you can't continue to give what you don't have. And so people are just going to have to, get it. They're going to have to adjust.
Yeah. And it started with finances, right? I looked at my mom who, spent her whole life helping everybody, my 6 kids,
right?
Everybody. And yet as she got older, she just needed us because she left herself with nothing. And she became a liability to our family because she had given everything away. And then I started realizing it's far more than just making people rich by being rich. Yeah. It was things like my gratitude, my love, forgiveness. I had to forgive myself to be able to give it to others. And I started realizing that I'm this great conduit between this great sort of life a source of light, love, and lessons. And I'm
Right.
supposed to take as much of it in as I can, receive as much as I can, appreciate it through gratitude. And then appreciation also means add my value to it. And
Right.
then I'm connected on the other side to give it away. And the more I do that, the more expansive I become, the more I can have. And that goes more than just finances. I love, especially in forgiveness and gratitude, were three things that I got in my own way and I was afraid to receive. I felt guilty, resentful, offended by receiving it.
Right. When I heard you down in Phoenix, you know, it was so beautiful to see a man standing, you know, the man, he's like a real guy. And you kind of, you got emotional, which, well, you know, hooked me right away. I was like, okay.
Now my kids say, Dad, it doesn't work.
I'm going to go buy this guy's book. I have to have this guy's book.
My kids say, it doesn't work unless you cry, Dad.
It was really, but it was real. And you went down the path and spoke to the crowd about all the things you weren't really proud of yourself about. So what is it? What was it, if you feel like sharing, that you had to forgive yourself for?
Yeah, you know, I'm going to tell a quick story. Hopefully I won't cry, but my dad gave me a jacket when I was 30 and told me I was just like him. And it had no pockets. And I got so mad at him. I called him a liar, cheater, manipulator, overseller, back-end seller. I hated him for all those things. And that's what I hated about myself.
Right.
I was a liar, a cheater. And I didn't realize it until 6 years later when I was about to leave my wife because she was calling me on my BS.
Right.
And I literally was so angry and resentful. And I looked over and like a shining light, that jacket. I can't even say the story still because it just reached out to me and said, "You're just like your dad." And I would have ruined my life. I probably would have been dead if I didn't realize how unhappy I was. I had everything. I was a multimillionaire.
Right.
I was shopping for the wrong things.
Right.
And it brought me this complete emptiness. And I teach people all the time, if money doesn't buy happiness and love, but it will allow you to shop. And you shop for the right things, you'll be happy. You shop for the wrong things, you'll end up where I was, empty in that loneliness.
Right. I think, you know, I'm paraphrasing, or maybe even just, you know, direct quoting when I say you into the group and said, I was just a real asshole. I was a total asshole. And so I think what I've taken away from Dave Meltzer is that he knew that in the first part of his life, and the second part of his life was, you know, just making amends to all the things that used to be that are no longer. And so that was, you know, it was a great moment. I just, you know, I'm a big fan. No need to feel worried, angry. People need to, forgive me. People need to feel worried, angry, resentful, not worthy, guilty, you know, fill in the blank. Why is that? And how can we stop feeling that way about ourselves?
Yeah, what's interesting, all those things are pain, and pain is an indicator. It's an indicator that we have a lesson to learn. And life is only about lessons. The lessons keep on coming until we learn them. If we don't learn them, it's going to result in pain. The best thing about lessons through those needs of the ego that you suggested is when we come to the realization that, one, we're going to forget every single lesson that we've ever learned. Every day, I forget gratitude. I don't practice it all day long. Sometimes I'm still have moments of being an asshole.
Yeah.
Right? and I have to forgive myself.
Oh, thank you for saying that. Because I thought you were, you know, you were like going, because I am too. I mean, I have my moments. Thank you.
and I forget. And then I remind myself, I have this great power that I have access to the lessons. I have access back to the lessons of gratitude and forgiveness and accountability and inspiration. And my years, they got down to reaction time to months, then to weeks, then to days, then to hours, then to minutes. And now I just spend moments being an asshole. And that's acceptable to my wife. So
I'm going to interview your wife next. Guys,
everybody wants my wife. Everybody wants my wife. I know.
Can we get Josh and Jake to set up an appointment with your wife, please? I'd like to
take my kids away when they start interviewing my wife. Remember who she married. She must be nuts.
That's crazy. I had a great question segue. Now I've forgotten it. The power in the pinky. Talk to me about the power on your pinky.
Yeah, that's the key.
You got enough to light up Manhattan.
Yeah, I think that's a Bob Proctor secret thing that, right? Then he say you have enough power in your pinky to light up Manhattan, and the kilowatts that exist. Why that's so important is because I love to blend the pragmatic with the theoretical, the faith with money. And when I realized how much power I have in me, that meant I must be connected to an incredible source of power. and that when I don't feel powerful, I must be interfering with that source. And then even more importantly, when I got out of the world of just enough and into the world of more than enough, this idea that everything comes through me, how was I lighting up everybody else with my power? The candle example was critical to me. I used to hold my candle and it burned bright. My candle was bright for me, multimillionaire, beautiful family, but my candle was burning fast because it was just for me. I was very filled. And then I started realizing, what if I light Clarissa's candle and Greg's candle and my friend's candle? My candle stopped burning. And guess what? The light was still bright. In fact, it got brighter when I lit theirs. And then they were lighting. So that's where my mission of empowering others to empower others to be happy. Let's liberate other people with our own light so they can liberate their own light to liberate other people's light.
Amen. Amen. There are so many things that you said in the last 2 months that have been so evangelistic.
Yeah.
You know, I swear.
I'm jealous.
You're a mentor to many. Okay. Who is your mentor?
So I have different mentors. Each mentor are people that sit in the situation that I want to be in. So I don't believe that there's a whole person that can mentor me. So Blaine Bartlett is a world business consultant, and he's a mentor. Sharon Lechter on financial literacy is a mentor. I'm talking to her, trying to understand exactly what's going on with our economy. She's been an advisor to presidents. What a blessing she can advise.
She lives down the street from me, you know. She came to Italy with me. Go ahead.
I'm going to come. I can't wait.
Okay.
And then, then on the other side, my mom is still a mentor to me, how to be a parent. I haven't met a better parent in my life. And so I pick and choose and always mentors that sit in the situation that I want to be in. Yeah. And it can be for something very small or something like your relationship to money. And I will find the person that seems to have the relationship with money that I want, and I'll ask them to mentor me.
Right. That's awesome. Yeah. Okay, I can go with that. We can live with that. Here's another one for you. You've lived such a full life. You've been so blessed in so many ways. But I need one answer to this, just one. What was you can't go down to kids. You can't say kids.
Okay.
Because everybody goes kids. It's not kids. I mean, they're great. It's just like
they don't have 3 teenage daughters.
What was your crowning moment?
Oh, man. My crowning moment of my life.
Crowning moment. One answer.
It's so funny because very few people ask me that. You know, for my 50th birthday, I did 50 birthday parties around the world to raise money. And I got to go to Africa to see the community center that we built. And the crowning moment with all those people, like I manifested that. And thousands of lives will have changed. They circumcise women at 9 years old. They marry them off at 14.
I know.
I have created, for my birthday, all of these new birthdays. That the whole trajectory of the Bagani had changed with, was great investment in myself for an entire year. It might sound like fun, but trust me, next time you have your own birthday party, say, could I do this every week? And you'll realize what a great investment in myself that was. It's my crowning moment, though.
That's phenomenal. I couldn't ask for a better answer than that when you know that you're touching that many lives. Dave Meltzer, it's always a pleasure to meet with you and greet with you. A question I didn't ask you that you wish I had.
Why or how am I going to empower over 1 billion people to be happy?
Be happy. Yep.
Because I think that decision in my life, when I used to want to make over $1 billion, and I could never figure out, but yet nobody laughed at me when I told them that, because I had made millions, over 100 million, and if I told you, Clarissa, someday I'm going to make over $1 billion, you'd look at me and say, yeah, Dave Meltzer can do that. Here's the weird thing. When I came up with a better idea, I'm going to empower over 1 billion people to be happy in my lifetime, create a collective consciousness of the highest vibrating source of love, light, and lessons called happiness that spreads simply by witnessing it, strengthens our immune system, and every other great thing that it does. Most people laugh at me, scoff at me, and make fun of me and ask me, am I Jesus Christ? Or, ask me these funny questions. But after they listen to me, after they come to my free trainings every Friday and learn that I'm just looking for 1,000 people like Clarissa Burt that I know I can empower to empower 1,000 people in her life, to empower another 1,000 people simply to be happy, utilizing all these lessons that she's written down and heard, and I've heard from others and made my own, and all the great things that we do.
Right.
It's not too unbelievable that at 52 years old in my lifetime that I can find 1,000 people like you that will come to my trainings or listen to me on a stage or read my books. Right. And it's all free, just to make the world an abundant place, because 1 billion people or more happy will change the world economically, absolutely, physically, spiritually, emotionally. I promise you, this became my life's mission. And I'm glad that you didn't ask me that.
I was getting there. It was right here. It was written on the paper, you know. Don't tell me I didn't come prepared to this interview, because you know I did.
Best interview. I've done 8 weeks. This interview has been incredible, by the way. You are the most prepared interviewer. I loved it. I loved it.
Hello? Who's the woman, Dave Meltzer? Who's the woman?
Clarissa Burt.
I want you to know, by the way, that we've gotten some comments that have come in from Italy. They're all waiting to see you there. And we've gotten one in from Bulgaria as well. So there you go. All around the world with Dave Meltzer and Clarissa Burt, everybody. He has been in the limelight. We will see you later on today with another live. Dave Meltzer, thanks so much for your time. We'll talk again soon.
I love you. Thank you.
Bye, love.
Bye-bye.